Hey, hello everybody. Richard Blackstone here with today's Create One Love Note. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a love note. Yeah, from me to you, pure love, pure, unadulterated, and here's the best part, unconditional love. No conditions on this love. It's just love, love, love. I'm sending it out, and you know why it's unconditional? Because when I send out unconditional love, I get unconditional love back. You can't do that with conditional love, which is really not love. Okay. So I'm going to read your love note, then we'll talk about it, see how it applies to your daily life. Okay, love note says, are you ready? Let's get official. Instead of asking, what's the matter with me, it would serve you more to ask, what's the next fantastic thing for me? Oh, I love this already. Now, it often seems that we are conditioned to ask ourselves questions about ourselves. And that's that kind of voice in your head thing, But the questions we usually ask are in the negative vein of trying to figure out why we aren't as good as we think we should be. Has that ever happened to you? Even though this may be helpful at times to move you forward so you can serve yourself more often by focusing on the things that are quality assets and emphasize those. You are very good at a lot of things and have qualities that you are proud of. Dwell on these and keep getting better at the things that you may not be so good at. Now, here's the deal. Make it a game to be the best person you can possibly be all the time. Get to a point where you are constantly proud of yourself and how you interact with others. Make an agreement with yourself to always do your best. One of my favorite books is by a fellow named Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's called The Four Agreements. And the last agreement, the first agreement is always be impeccable with your word. Oh, God, that's so powerful. Then the second one is don't make assumptions, and third is don't take anything personally. But the fourth one is always do your best. And that's all you need to do. And that doesn't mean your best has to be the absolute best in the world. It only means you have to just do the best you can at the time with whatever you're doing that's in front of you. That's all it means. And if you do that one thing, your life is going to improve in exponential ways. And, I love the way this love note started out because this is so often, and when I was sleepwalking through life, this is what I did all the time. I was always asking myself, what's the matter with me? The law of attraction tells you, okay, then let's find things that are matter with you. Instead, I ask you to serve yourself more by asking, what's the next fantastic thing about me? Now, which would you rather hear all day long? Yeah, and this is what happens. You know how it works. That voice in your head doesn't stop. I bet it's going right now. I bet it's saying, okay, I'm listening to this guy, but God, what am I going to have for dinner? I'm listening to this guy, but I have to go to the bathroom. I'm listening to this guy, but I sure am thirsty now. And that voice is going all the time. And a lot of the time, when you are kind of living in, kind of more unconsciously, where you're not really aware of your thoughts, you're just going through your head all the time, then typically what happens is because of the input that we have from a world that just is bombarding us with negativity, especially if you read the newspapers or watch the news on TV, then typically that voice is just chock full of negative stuff about you too. Why aren't you as good as you can be? How come you don't have a better job? How come you're driving that crummy car? What's wrong with that? Yeah, I know you live in a nice house, but it's not nice enough. All that stuff is constant. And what if you changed that mind chatter from all that negative crap and kept saying, man, I'm good. Man, I love my life. Man, this car is awesome. I just love my house. I love my family. What if you had that kind of repertoire constantly going on in your head? Do you think your life would be any different? I guarantee it would be because I've made that transformation. I, like I said, for 40 years, I was just like everybody else, same old negative stuff going. But when I made my personal transformation, I realized I needed to immerse myself in a different thought pattern because if I continue with negative thoughts, I just continue to get negative results. And so I made a conscious effort to start changing my mind chatter. And, of course, it started with this idea of living more from love, to understand that love is the answer to everything that I know. But part of that equation, part of the way I did it, was I consciously stopped doing the negative mind chatter, and really I consciously forced positive affirmation thoughts in my head as much as I could, because I knew if I kept repeating them, then eventually it would become a habit, and they would just kind of come naturally. And that's what happens. That's how you get habits. Habits are just thoughts that you think over and over and over and over. That's all they are. And so you can reverse that process by eliminating the ones that don't help you, and start installing the ones that do, the positive stuff. And I can guarantee you that you can do it, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's my attitude. And start doing this positive stuff. In fact, all around my office, I've got positive affirmations everywhere. Because that's the kind of thing I want to think about. I don't want to think things that are detrimental to my life. In fact, I mentioned the 4 agreements before. The first one, be impeccable with your word. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be talking negatively about your own life. I mean, think about it. It's the law of attraction. The more you are negative, the more negative stuff you get. That's the way it works. There's a cause and effect universe. So the more positive you are, the more you put your attention on things that you really desire and how you're going to get them, and be happy and expectant and loving. Gosh, guess what happens? Cause and effect. That's the way it works. So that's the kind of stuff we teach here at Create One Love, is how to really improve your life to a point where you can actually create your life consciously the way you really want it to be. And we have the tools and everything to do that for you. In fact, today I'm going to give you a free tool right now. It's called, go to this website. It's ConsciousLifestyleSecrets.com. And there's an ebook there right on the front page. Just go ahead and grab that ebook. It's free. You download it. Be reading it in about 5 minutes. And that will start you on your journey of real positive affirmations, because the title of the book is called Who You Really Are and Why You Are Here. And boy, it just goes deep into this thing of who you really are. Do you know who you are? Good. Then read the book. You will. I love it. Okay, so that's it for today. Go to the website. Get that. It's ConsciousLifestyleSecrets.com. And let's see. I guess I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. And until then, as always, live in love. Richard Blackstone again. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.